College Park, Laurel, and Bowie are just a few of the jurisdictions casting ballots today. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, one of the races in today's election, or today, is Bowie's election. That one is being called a rematch. That's because in 2011, Babatunde Alekbeleje tried to unseat Councilman Henry Gardner for his District 3 seat, but failed. Now he's trying again. Denise Douglas has more on that, as well as what else voters are deciding.
Slow but steady. That's pretty much how they are describing turnout for the election here in Bowie at City Hall. Outside here, we have seen candidates and their supporters. For example, right over there, you see Diane Palangan, who's running for her council seat unopposed. She's been surrounded by her supporters all morning. Inside, though, is where most of the activity is. People are voting on the ballot. There are 6 council seats. Of those, only District 3 is being challenged. In the mayor's race, there is also some competition with Richard Doms running against incumbent Fred Robinson. So what are voters saying about this election? Most say they are pleased with the way that the government is being run here in Bowie. But we did find one man who expressed concern over crime and safety.
I am concerned about drug use in the city, and I think that the police department is somewhat overwhelmed. I think that the city council needs to consider increasing the size of the Bowie police force beyond the current, I believe, 57 level to more.
Turnout-wise, it's been steady, but it's been kind of a slow steadiness. The people have been coming in, but sort of a slower rate than the other elections that I've seen. So,
is it what you expected?
Not sure, because it's very funny in this area, but usually they're pretty heavy, much heavier turnouts, I think.
Currently, both the mayor and council members serve 2 years for their term. However, there is a question on the ballot asking if that should be increased to 4. So depending on how voters decide that, we could see a change in that after today. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And there are just over 40,000 registered voters in Bowie. Election officials expect about 10% of them to cast their ballots today.
Meantime, the city of College Park is also holding elections today, and CTV's Sonia Srivastava has that story.
Well, there are about 17,000 registered voters here in the city of College Park, and I'm told that there's been a steady stream of people coming in all morning long. And that's a good thing, because there are 2 districts that are up for grabs, including District 1 and District 3. And you're looking at some of the candidates that are running for the District 3 position now. They've been out here all morning.
Nearly 20% of the 17,000 registered residents here in College Park are expected to cast their ballots today.
Turnout has been higher than normal because we have competition in one of the districts.
Newcomer and University of Maryland student Matthew Popkin is trying to unseat incumbents Robert Day and Stephanie Stolik in District 3.
Many residents, when I've been talking door to door with them for a while, have been complaining about some of the student-resident tensions and the lack of collaboration between the city and university. And I think that there hasn't been a genuine effort to really reach out to everyone in an inclusive and welcoming manner.
A lot of the issues that students and residents face are the same, and we want the best things for College Park since we all live here. And I think having a student perspective on the council will go a long way.
It won't be easy for Popkin. Longtime member Stephanie Stolik is well liked and is expected to keep her seat.
I've lived in College Park since 1960. She's by far the best council person I have ever had during that time, and why would we change it?
I've cared a lot about public safety, and I think we've made a lot of progress in that. We've increased our city investment in contract police.
Residents say there are some major issues in College Park, particularly when it comes to development.
You can see what's happened to the Maryland Book Exchange. That shouldn't be put there, but it was difficult to deal with that because the county itself.
I think there has been overdevelopment. And we keep talking about what we're going to do with Route 1. Route 1 has been overloaded for years. And what do? We keep adding to it.
In District 1, another University of Maryland student is running against incumbent Kabir and Wohan.
We have competition for mayor, which is the first time since, I think, 1999.
Now the polls here in College Park will close at 8 p.m. tonight. For CTV News, I'm Sonia Srivastava.
Robert Catlin and Marcus Afzali, members from Districts 2 and 4, are not seeking re-election. Two new faces, PJ Brennan and Alan Hugh, are unopposed and will join Monroe Dennis and Denise Mitchell on the council.
The city of Laurel is also holding elections today. Residents came out to vote for city council members for wards 1 and 2, as well as an at-large seat on the Laurel City Council. Supporters and incumbents and challengers alike were at polling places in a last-minute effort to get their message out. Voters told CTV that they are pleased with the work incumbents have done and are happy to re-elect them.
I believed in what they were doing or trusted, and that was another reason for voting, because they were in and doing a good job.
Polls close this evening at 8 o'clock.
The city of Tacoma Park is getting national attention. Teens as young as 16 are being allowed to vote in today's election. In May, Tacoma Park became the first city in the country to lower the voting age. Officials say 90% of the city's eligible younger voters have registered to vote. The city allowed registration on site as well.
Several gubernatorial candidates presented their vision for Maryland's environment in Annapolis this afternoon. The politicians expressed a concern for the Chesapeake Bay and smart growth in the state. The forum was hosted by the Chesapeake Bay Foundation and 1,000 Friends of Maryland. Representatives of both organizations also shared expectations of the next administration.
We haven't accounted for the pollution that comes from our communities, and so we have to have the funds in order to fix all the polluted runoff that's going off our parking lots, our roofs, our sidewalks, and that is really important that we do that. The current administration has been terrific on moving the agenda forward. There's always so much work to do that the next administration that steps in is going to have to step up to the plate, work really hard to make sure that we continue the progress on the Bay and that we grow smarter in the state.
And Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown was absent due to a family emergency. He was represented by his running mate, Kenneth Ullman.